Talk. Now, this is a program where we review all the challenges in education and we bring solutions to these challenges to you for parents, teachers, and consultants, and also government policy advisors. You're very welcome to this program, and I'm Wilma. Now, in our studio today, we have a very rare guest. He's been described by reporters as President Obama's professor's professor. This means he taught the professors who taught President Obama. In December 1992, President Clinton personally wrote him a letter inviting him to establish the Global Academy for Geniuses. We are glad to have Professor William Maxwell in our studios today. He has been a university professor since 1954 from Harvard. Professor Maxwell, you're very welcome to our studios.
Thank you, Wilma. Thank you very much.
And we also have Dr. Chris Imafidon in our studios. Dr. Chris, you're a very well-known guest on this program. You're very welcome.
Thank you for your invitation today.
Dr. Maxwell, let's start with you. Today we're talking about parenting and the genius baby.
Right.
Now, you have a lot of knowledge and experience when it comes to parenting. Tell us, what inspired you to write this book, The Genius Baby?
Genius Baby was written to help parents understand how to find the genius in their children. Every parent at birth becomes aware that this child is a gift of God, created in the image of God. Typically, the mother recognizes in the baby's face a kind of, this is the face of God. She falls in love with the baby. But the father doesn't typically. Typically, the father waits 42 days. Literally, the father waits 42 days. The baby gives the father a great big smile, and the father's heart melts. And the father becomes aware that he has a special responsibility to this baby. But he's not fully aware of what great task he has to educate lovingly that baby. So, Genius Baby was written to help parents, both father and mother, to understand that while their baby is born a genius in the image of God, 99.99% of all humans lose that genius very early.
And why is that so? Why did you lose it very early?
Well, nature is time sensitive. All of nature is time sensitive. For example, why is vanilla one of your favorite flavors? Why is vanilla so expensive? Well, the vanilla flower blooms only 1 day per year. It must be pollinated that day. Otherwise, you lose the entire crop for that year. And that's why vanilla is so expensive. All human talents are similarly time sensitive. For example, you and I were born with perfect pitch. We understood music of all kinds easily. But we lose that unless that talent is developed. And most humans do not have perfect pitch because the parents were not intelligent enough to give them music lessons very early. Einstein's mother, for example, made sure that Einstein listened to great music not only in the womb, but every day after the birth. Einstein listened to great, typically Baroque music. Thus, Einstein not only was he mathematically a genius, he was also a musical genius. And the musical genius that he kept, that he did not lose, helped the rest of his brain to develop. So, every parent must understand that the child has many capacities. Somewhere in those broad spectrum of talents, there is a particularly strong talent, and that's the genius in the child. But that genius can only be discovered if we look very closely, very early, from birth.
Well, you tell us how parents have to look very early from birth. But Dr. Chris, now, there is a phrase you've always said that every child is a genius. Did this book help you in carving said that many times, and you've actually tutored a lot of pupils with that.
Yeah, the content of the book, I've privileged to preview, pre-publication copy of the book. It really cements the fact. If anybody had any doubt whatsoever, the book brings it out in crystal clear manner. And there is not one human being that is on the planet that does not have at least one talent. If nurtured, that person becomes a world champion in that field of endeavor or that specialism or a subspecialism. So if you have that as a cornerstone of any child's development, you're going to work with that very, very precious potential you've been given until you realize it.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of parents now want to know, how best can I identify the genius in my child early enough? You said from birth.
Right.
How can you do that?
Keep watching the child. Actually, before I wrote this book, I had written another book called Super Parenting, which sort of outlines steps parents can take to be sure that they discover the child's genius and that the child's genius develops. That particular book was inspired, to answer your first question, by a meeting of the JCs in Lautoka, Fiji. I was the dean or the head of the School of Education at the University of the South Pacific in Suva, Fiji. And the JCs invited me to Lautoka to talk to them. There's about 200 of them. And my talk was on intelligence. And they said, Dr. Maxwell, is there a book on how to raise the IQ of a child? I said, certainly, there must be. So I went back to the university library, and lo and behold, there was not. There was no book telling parents how to raise or improve or maintain the intelligence of their children. So my wife and I sat down and wrote the book, which now is called Super Parenting, Child Rearing for the New Millennium. I think the first lesson is that the mother is in charge of the spiritual climate of the home. The woman is 1,000,000 years more advanced over us males. So she must assert her superiority, which is a spiritual superiority, and make the home spiritual and intellectual, and like a library, and devotional, and so on. But the father's role is very, very crucial, of course. He, by the research and by experience of many cultures, the father should begin teaching the children all the basic principles of science and math as soon as the baby is out of the womb. For example, how do you teach a baby trust? I bet you $1,000 that Dr. Imafidon, about 6 months after the birth of Anna Marie, the oldest child, I bet you $1 million that he began tossing the child.
Is that what we did?
Yeah, everybody does that. So.
Well, not everybody does it, but they should. What does tossing the child teach? The tossing the child teaches trust. The child is being taught, you can trust your father. Trust is the most powerful of all the emotional baggage that we carry. It not only teaches trust, but it teaches the child how fast he falls, depending on how far up he goes. So basically, the child is learning gravity right there in his father's arms. So the father has 1,000 things, more than 1,000, 10,000 things to teach the child, the most important of which is trust. And the baby trusts the environment if the father keeps the stress level of the home down. So the father's ultimate duty is to be sure that the home is not under stress. So he must show love and affection to his wife, the mother of his child. So the book goes on from there to give you about 100 different ways to ensure that the child maintains his natural God-given intelligence.
Very interesting. I'm sure a lot of parents would want to know a lot more about this book, where you can send emails to educationtalk@rebeltv.co.uk. I will get back to you with a lot of answers. Now, your book has been recommended for reading at Harvard University. You have been a professor since 1954, and that book has been used for over 30 years. Just want to know, what's the single most important lesson about teaching or transferring knowledge?
Good question. Let me think on that one. the most important lesson on transferring knowledge? The answer was given by a South American philosopher, biologist, Hugo Maturana. Maturana was the professor of biology at the University of Santiago, Chile. And he wrote a very fundamental book called The Biology of Love. The most important quality that a parent and a teacher must manifest in all cases is love. Love. I would bet $1 million that one of the differences between the Imapidon family and most other families is when you walk into the home of the Imapidons, you feel the love of the parents for the children. And because the Imapidons were careful, they are all spaced 3 years apart or more. That is, by the time Anna Marie was 3, she was secure. She was not going to have sibling rivalry and jealousy of the second child, Christiana. So Christiana came along 3 years after Anna Marie. So then Christiana had the advantage of a mother and a father and an older sister. And you feel Christiana today she worships her older sister. She models herself after her older sister. So that home, the essential quality of that home was the Christ-like love that Jesus commanded us to manifest, not only within the home, but to all children. I often ask Christians, how many commandments are there in the Bible? They say 10. No, it's not 10. It's 11.
11.
Jesus said, and now I give you a new commandment, that ye love one another. That's a new commandment. So there are 11. Well, the home that has that obeys the 10 commandments plus the 11th commandment. Invariably, that home produces geniuses.
So definitely the love for the parents exhibit and show towards the child brings out the genius in the child.
Exactly.
Much more than any other thing.
Because love attracts and love is perceptive. A little baby beginning at 24 months, at least, sometimes sooner, the baby sends a signal. Mom, Dad, I'm interested in that kind of music. It's Baroque music. Tell me more about it. Let me hear more of it. The baby is sending a signal. Dad, watch me build Lego blocks. I think I want to be an architect. And if the dad has any intelligence, the dad says, I'm buying you Lego blocks tomorrow. Then I'm buying you more complicated ones, so that you train yourself, beginning at age 2, to be a world great builder, or physician, or artist, or scientist, whatever. Those signals come from the child to the parent. And Maria Montessori reminded us, the parent must love the child so much that the parent picks up those subtle signals from the child. Yes, I'm going to train you as Heifetz was trained. Beginning at age 4, I'm putting you under the care of the greatest violin teacher in the world. The parents begin now looking for the greatest mentors in that child's chosen field. And that child's chosen field typically is very different from the parents' chosen field. Where's Einstein's children? You never heard of them, because their talents were different. So the parents sensitively say, I'm going to put you under the tutelage of a great mathematician, like Fibonacci's father did. And Fibonacci came back from North Africa, a pure mathematician, and he changed the mathematics of Europe.
Quite interesting. Dr. Chris, one of the profound things in is the role of the dad, and one of the things he should do is to teach the child from an early age maths and science. Now, you have done a lot when it comes to maths. We talk about maths so much in this program. What is the significance of that? Why from an early age maths and science?
Because this child wants to observe the environment and understand the environment. So why is the sky blue? That is a direct scientific question. Why is it that an object becomes hot and therefore changes in color to be red? So the child is inquiring, is inquisitive. And most people will say, no, keep quiet. You don't need to ask that question, or you're too young to ask that question. If you do that, you are shutting down the inquiring mind. But if you answer the question, you're saying, yes, I'm interested in engaging with you. I'm interested in helping you to understand your environment. I'm interested in letting you know that learning is fun. It doesn't have to be something that is boring and tedious. Because you have interacted with this now, which is essentially your child, and you are not giving him a formal class, you're giving him answers to his question. Through that, he learns.
Absolutely correct.
Professor Maxwell, you said every child is a potential genius. Now, do you have verifiable cases for this?
The best case in the world just sat down next to me. The best case in the world for Genius Child, the Genius Child. This book, Genius Baby, and my other book, Super Parenting. I have the theoretical research there. From my own experience, I knew that every child is a potential genius. I have been finding geniuses since I was a child myself. For example, I taught Sunday school in Methodist Church when I was 9. And I saw in my own students who were 6, I saw the little geniuses there. They love to talk about the Bible. I've known that. But those evidences are what you call not persuasive, they're not scientific. The first scientific proof of the genius idea is the Immophidon family. So I had someone do the calculations. The chances are of 5 children in one family being a genius, the chances are 0.00000000059. In effect, it is impossible, by current knowledge, for one family to produce 5 geniuses, and yet the Immophidons did it. Therefore, statistics go out the window, and now love comes in the window. These children are a product of these 5 Immophidon children are a product of love, which destroyed all statistical probabilities. But the interesting thing, Wilma, is whatever the Immophidons have done, families listening to this program can do even better. Peter and Paula, the last children of the Immophidon, they passed the GCE O-level at age 6. They passed the Cambridge Advanced exam at age 8. There are children out there today who, if the parents treat them right, will pass the GCE O-level at age 5 and a half. And they will pass the Cambridge Universal Advanced Mathematics at age 7 and a half.
So, if parents out there is saying,
I think
how
we just
can I
pause
make my
there.
child
We just pause the video and let everybody at home understand because what Professor Maxwell just said there. If you have got a copy of the Telegraph, Weekend Telegraph, a fortnight ago, you will see why essentially we are running this program. That's the root of it. Whatever has been accomplished, whatever has been achieved, whatever has been attained, there is a clear formula, and this is where those of you that have been with us all weekend for the boot camp would have seen yesterday what we went through. By the way, you haven't missed a lot. If you weren't able to make it yesterday, we streamed every single significant session. At Corpus Christi, where our parents and our students were able to interact with the director of studies at Cambridge University and were able to get the current thinking regarding admissions, regarding tests and assessment pre-admissions. But I'm back to what Professor Maxwell, those of you that are not familiar with him, you can Google him and get his full details on the internet. I'm not going to spend time telling you about him, except to say that he was a university professor as far back as 1957. And he has done a lot of work when it comes to genius, when it comes to achievement, in terms of science of achievement, not just knowing about achievement. He studied men, women, boys, girls, rich, poor. He's encyclopedic when it comes to his knowledge. The word he said there that was quite useful is that every single achievement that the Telegraph talks about here, the Telegraph tells you this is the brainiest family, and the internet tells you this is the brainiest family, suggesting that some people are working at a particular pedestal and others are going to work at a lower pedestal. Remember, on Friday, I got all of you to write down your objectives. And now we're going to tie that objective to what he just said now. He said something very profound, and he's not a young man anymore, it's somebody that's been in this, if you like, sector of education. He's been Dean of Education, that means producing teachers in 4 different continents of the world. So his extensive experience, his age, over 90, shouldn't say any more than that, tells us really that when we say everyone, what we really need is that everyone is equal to genius. That's the truth. That's the fundamentals of the genius formula. Every human being is equal to genius. So the question now arises: what are the factors? Why is it that some people, why is it that not everyone is a genius according to you? Right? Now, there are 3 categories. The first category is the genius that has been expressed, or talent that has been expressed. And he gave examples of that in the clips we are going to show you later, and in the clips that we showed you yesterday with Carissa, Lois, and the clips that we showed you on Friday, because we showed you some clips on Friday about students that are not biologically linked achieving the same level. So if you have your talent expressed, after it's been detected, developed, and deployed, 3Ds, the world regards you as a genius. But if you have your talent suppressed, then they think you are normal, and from time to time you may express profound abilities. And then you can have your talent oppressed, and then you can also have your talent repressed. Now, I'm going to go, this is not semantics, this is real. When we classify the case studies, you will know there are some people that were with you, if you're an adult right now, some people that were with you at primary school, at elementary school, and you knew that their talent was raw. It wasn't developed, it was raw. So if they ask any questions before the teacher even finishes, their hand is up. And then they say profound things at 2, 3, 4, 5, up to the age of 8th. The 8th year or 7 plus, the curriculum sets in and starts to do what? Repress that talent. So you know some of your friends that were great at key stage 1, what we now call key stage 1, which is roughly called 5 to 7. Children are aged 5 to 7. If you're a parent, you would have seen that as well. I don't care whether it's a boy or a girl, it's not gender specific, it's very specific to this age. And that's what Professor Maxwell was saying here, that if you detect it early, you can put things in place to be able to develop it, and then it'll be very easy for you to deploy it. So we have all of them come up. You've seen all of them. You've seen this category of express genius. Serena Williams had the talent of tennis, had the father that provided the environment to nurture it, because it was detected, it was developed, and was deployed. And Serena became the world. You can Google it, and those of you that follow me on social media, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, or follow me on Instagram or Pinterest, you will have seen the interaction we've had with Serena Williams. So redefining the rules of Wimbledon requires a talent that was developed, because she literally rewrote the rules of the so-called US Open, that is close to only people that have talent. And by the way, it's open to people that have been tracked. So in the advanced class, when we come back, for those of you that are doing the post boot camp, we'll have time to be able to literally pull out case study after case study after case study of different people in different fields. That's what we're saying. It doesn't have to be politics. In the case of Michael Jackson, in terms of music, talent was detected at a young age. Talent was developed to some extent, and talent was deployed. So in sports, in music, in politics, in maths, in whatever field of human endeavor, you already have in your big brain, behind your thinking, is someone that's great. I shared the Tiger Woods post. I think that was about 7 or 8 days ago, and those of you that follow me would have seen that as well. So there are talents that are completely and utterly ignored. They're so ignored by the environment, that this is nothing that you're literally going to do about it. But if you're able to get rid of that child, that boy, that girl at a young age, you people develop it. So that's the reason why I said write down on Friday, and I'm pleased that most of you were able to send your objective across to us. So today, the final or the penultimate session, we're going to look at what did you send to us. Those of you that registered for the boot camp, you were made to send this specially constructed objective for each time. If you just stumbled into this on Facebook, or just stumbled over this on YouTube, or stumbled on whatever platform you stumbled on, you can still do this exercise, by the way. You can email us and we'll book you for the next one. One of the next big one is at Imperial. And it is impossible for you, those that attended last year will tell you, it is impossible for you to attend the boot camp, especially this 10-based boot camp coming up in June, and not top your class in the sciences. It's impossible. Because you see volcanic eruption. People that have been there before, if you know you're logged in, you can share your experience or testimonies that you got from the Imperial. It's a massive sea change in your life if you know that you love your son or your daughter. And that's what Professor Master was saying. If you love your son or your daughter, you're able to accomplish what they said was impossible. But if you don't, then it becomes a struggle. He was saying the fundamentals of achievement, which is true really, is the fact that you were able to care enough for that son or daughter of yours, and therefore understood the system that your son or daughter is being raised in, and took action. That's what I'm saying. You took action, you took massive action. And because you took massive action, you were able to get it. I'm just going to pull up those of you that sent your different objectives. Okay, now there's some here, and I need to read that out. Or remember, I've anonymized the objective, so your objective may not, will not bear your name, because I really don't want to put people on the spot. Now, somebody wrote here, to explore and develop God-given talent and nurture them to enable her excel and achieve excellence in every aspect of academic, social, emotional, spiritual life, to be the best of what she does. That is not an objective. That is just a grand statement that reflects your vision, and that is good. That's one of the reasons why you picked up the internet and emailed us, or you picked up the internet and messaged us. That is good. Your objective, I'm going to write it down now, because we need to be sure of what we're doing. Your objective should sound like this. I'm going to pull up the PowerPoint slide. Okay. Those of you that have seen this, I'll start with this. Those of you that have seen this, I used to do so. I hope you've noted this down. If you're online, please note this down. There are 4. If you go out, we will discuss the top 3. But here, because we are in the boot camp, and the Cambridge-based boot camp, we downloaded all of them for you. I would not have time to be able to go through this. Like I said, if you book into the advanced class, you'll be able to go through this. And you'll be able to identify, if you have a brother, who was it that suppressed the talent of your brother, or when was your talent oppressed, or whether your own talent was repressed. You need to be able to know what category you belong to. Because every one of us here agree that the genius that is visible, like Mo Farah, congratulations, if you've been watching today, you have seen the London Marathon, which was quite good, great exercise. If you don't follow it, I don't know why you don't follow it, you should follow it. Is this, Mo Farah, Sir Mo Farah, ran the marathon today. I was at the starting and collection point, or not as I was at the starting and collection point, and was it Wednesday? Yes, I think it was Wednesday. And there was a series of posts I did on Wednesday. Go and get it, have a look at it, so that you understand what I'm trying to say. That Mo Farah came up with a new thinking regarding long distance running. He's Sir Mo Farah. Now, what most people don't know, but you will know because you're on this program, is because Sir Mo Farah has an identical twin brother. His identical twin has the same genetic makeup, has the same DNA. If they sat next to each other, you will not be able to distinguish between Sir Mo Farah and his brother. If any of them went through the immigration, no immigration officer will be able to distinguish whose passport is which. That's how close they are in resemblance. Their IQ is identical. Their talent identical. Now, what you need to go home with today, because you need to write this down: expressed genius, suppressed genius, oppressed genius, and repressed genius. We are privileged to be the only institution on the planet Earth where you will see these distilled for you, so that you will understand where you are floating at, and then you know why you need to flow. Floating means you do it effortlessly. So you just think, if the water level goes up, it goes up. If it comes down, it goes down. So you're just going literally with the waves. So you're a victim of your circumstance. And that's the most tragic thing that can happen to anybody. Sir Mo Farah's twin brother just floated along. And most of you here have never heard about his twin brother. The world has never heard anything about Sir Mo Farah's twin brother. But you've heard about Sir Mo Farah. Do you know why? Because he is Olympic champion. I mean, in the whole wide world, he is number one. Before that, he was Commonwealth champion. In the whole Commonwealth, 53 nations, Mo Farah was number one. In the British nation, Mo Farah is number one. That is for the mid-distance. Now, for the long distance, Mo Farah is number one in the world. Mo Farah is number one in the Commonwealth, and Mo Farah is number one in Europe, and number one in the UK. So he's a double Olympic champion, double Commonwealth champion, double national champion, double European champion. That's Mo Farah, whose identical twin brother has not been able to be the champion of his own street, let alone his area. Don't even begin to talk about his state or his nation No, don't even think of that. So how can two people born of the same parent, on the same day, packaged with the same gene, end up with such disparities? You need to explain to me. If you're able to explain that to me, then you know that yourself, your husband, your wife, your brother, your sister, your niece, your son, your daughter have to be placed in one of these four. A genius at birth, but whose genius was expressed due to development, detection, development and deployment, or whose genius was suppressed due to the environment and stereotyping, or whose genius was oppressed due to the external, because oppression is external, or whose genius was repressed. You need to write that down, because I'm going to ask you that at the end, because I'm going to ask you what type of geniuses do we have, and what category do you think yours will fall into, and why? Because if you're able to get that, remember you have a free ticket to go and see Robert Kiyosaki, that's the best-selling author, multimillionaire of Rich Dad Poor Dad. He's in town at the weekend, so you get your ticket, you get a free ticket. So this is part of the competition for you to get a ticket, to win a ticket to go see Robert Kiyosaki, the Robert Kiyosaki.
in flesh, in person. And if you want, you can ask him any questions about wealth that's confronting you. So this first step, please write that down. Everyone is a genius. Everybody was designed, made, created a genius. Don't listen to Shakespeare, because Shakespeare keeps telling you, oh, some people are born great. Some are born without greatness, where they have greatness thrust on them. Others struggle to achieve greatness. That's what Shakespeare tells you. Remember, Shakespeare is fiction. Another word for fiction in my dictionary is lie. So it's a lie that you were born either a genius or had greatness thrust upon you, or you have to struggle to achieve it. That's not true. What is true is the American Constitution, 1776. Go check it, 1776. Tells us on the 4th of July that all of us are created equal. And we are created equal. So you are created equal to Einstein, you are created equal to Tiger Woods, you are created equal to Serena Williams, you are created equal to any human being that has achieved in any area. The only reason why you think you are created less equal is because your talent has been repressed, or your son's talent has been repressed, or your talent has been suppressed, or it has been repressed. But that does not stop the fact that you were created a genius, or you were created with greatness, or you were created. I don't believe in potential, by the way. I believe in realizable potential. But like I said, if you pick up, I shared this on my social media. I know I did. So I shared this on my social media. If you pick up the Telegraph, this is still available now. It's still available online. If you pick up the Telegraph and read it, you will think, oh no, I don't think I have the gift to be great. I think I'm mediocre. So if you read it, here's a page that you need to go and pick up, page 14 of the Telegraph. I'll share it with you at the end of this session, because we are bringing the session to an end today, and you must go home with these facts, and therefore you must work with the blueprint. So you now know why I said that the objective you wrote is incorrect. Because your objective will be, this is how you now need to write your objective. Your objective is that you have a 4-year-old or you have a 6-year-old, and you have read about any of our students, about James Carey that you read about Francesca that you read about Omotola that you read about here, you read about Omotola here, you read about any of our students. They will then become your benchmark. You benchmark your son to pre-existing achievers on the EIE spectrum. So you benchmark it. So you read that, for instance, DEE Ali passed high school exams at age 5 years and 11 plus months, right? And then you have a daughter called probably Rachel. So your objective, therefore, is benchmark and say, Rachel, your desire, your objective is that Rachel takes the same exam, gets a similar result within time. You must put time there. So don't tell me you want your son to be bright. That's the vision. And many people dream dreams and nothing happens with their dream. We are talking about realizable dreams. Many people, very many people know how to dream. Very few know how to realize their dream. So please, I need you to right now go back and review every single case study that we've had. Because you review every case study we've had, you heard that Anne-Marie, yeah, that's fine. I think you can, let's have more illumination. You've heard the story. I'm going to play it. That's the reason why we play those cases for you, so that you have a better understanding of what is the maximum achievement your son or daughter can have. Or some of you have heard this as well. You read it. You probably read it last year. You read and heard, like the Telegraph said, Anne-Marie at age 10 spoke 6 languages. Yes, okay? That's a fact. That's a fact. So if you have a 10-year-old, you have to benchmark your 10-year-old. You cannot expect anything less. Not now that you understand this condition, you cannot express anything less. You have to express similar or better than pre-existing excellence in education cases. So you have to rewrite your objective. And if you participated in this weekend, you're going to rewrite every single child's objective that you have. So, and some of you will have been to the university, the BBC Oxford website said, at the age of what? Teenager, the teenager has already completed a master's degree at Oxford. So you have to now rewrite your new objective to say your 16-year-old or your 17-year-old. Exactly, you just fill it in, say this is what your expectations are at this age. If you haven't done that, you haven't done your objective. So you don't look at where the child is right now and begin to write your objective. That's the daftest way to do it. Because you are looking for the lowest common denominator. What you need to do is go for the highest possible denominator. Yeah, that's fine. I think you can periscope on. I think your periscope is playing up. So sorry, we're having slight technical issues here. So please make sure that you work through and you establish this, because you heard about Chimamanda. Some of you read about Chimamanda in the newspaper, because she, listen to this, in her early 20s, achieved UBS, a giant Swiss investment bank, hired as a senior manager in Wall Street. After being a student and being given these same tools as a teenager at the EIA, she's still on record as the youngest person ever to pass high school German. Yes, year 9, yes. Normal people will write the exam when they are 16 years old. When she said she was going to write, when she shared it with her German teacher, they just laughed, because they know that in her school, only 36% of 16-year-olds pass German. So for you to come in year 9, when you've not even started the specification or you don't even know what the syllabus is, and say you want to write the exam, is laughable. She went ahead and did that. That was 2005/2006. She didn't get just a normal mark. She didn't just get a C, she didn't get a B, she didn't get an A. She got an A star. And when they counted all the scripts in the country, in the whole country, with schools that are the best, schools where you pay £33,000 a year, boys going to that school did not score anywhere near half of what she got. Girls going to the top schools did not score anywhere near what she got. So from that changed her personality and her self-image. And so we worked and we defined the objective, the new objective. And today, she's not just being senior manager at Wall Street, she's back to London on vice presidency of Barclays Bank. So you see, what you are doing, you are defining short term based on what you know, so that you can work long term in global domination. And we don't have time, I probably would have wanted us to go through what Professor Maxwell was saying there. And every human being needs this. We're starting with the younger ones now, but every human being, because we'll review this periodically. We'll look at what your objective is, where you are, and then what tools do you need. Yes, this is what you're going to go with. Because between your objectives and the realization, you will need tools. You will need tools. And that's what I'm giving you today. We're going to you will need tools. You will need techniques that is different from the ones you've been using before. You will need technology.